Okay, so FRC tools, there's several different software tools. It's gotten a lot easier to install and set it all up over the last couple of years. Um, so that makes it convenient. So for the rest of the controls training, or at least next week, and any week we're doing actual programming, um, you'll need to have access to a Windows or Mac computer. Windows is preferred if you like have the option for some reason, but if you only have a Mac, you can do it all on the Mac. At some point by next week, preferably, but if not, you can wait and test things a little bit later. But to be able to test a lot of the code, you need to have a gamepad. So as long as it can connect to your computer, it's fine. So if you have, or someone in your family has a PS4, Xbox One, Switch Pro gamepad should work, or just like a really cheap one from Amazon, that works fine. That's what I use. I have a really cheap, like $20 random USB gamepad from Amazon. Any of those will work just fine. An old Xbox 360 USB gamepad would work. Any sort of gamepad you can get connected to your computer will work for our testing. And then most of our stuff is going to assume you're doing this on a Windows PC. We had people don't do it on Apple, so when you have questions, we can probably find someone to ask. I just won't be able to answer them necessarily. Like if it's not documented somewhere on the internet or something, I don't have a Mac. I don't use Mac at all. So it's going to be harder for me to help if something's happening on a Mac, but we can probably still get you help or figure out how to do it somehow. From there, so the next thing to do is we have a couple things to install. So there is the vast majority of the tools are all installed by the single installer that they created, which is super nice. There's a full installation guide that walks you through it, either for a Mac or Windows. If anyone's using Linux, you can do it that way too. There's also is a video tutorial that walks you through it. It's a little bit, they go through a little bit different options that are weird. Like in the actual video, he kind of talks you through it, but if you're not quite paying attention, it's a little weird because they're going to check some different things that we don't need. So make sure you actually check all of these boxes at that step. If you follow the video and don't follow the installation guide. If you follow the installation guide, it'll get you exactly what you need. The video just does a couple things a little bit different, but as long as you check these, everything else should be good through the video. And then the other thing to install is the GitHub desktop client. So GitHub is what we use to be able to sync our code with everybody else on the team who's working on programming. So if we can all be working like programming the same robot, and we can have all of our code be located in the same spot, and different people can make changes to it and test it and do what we need to, and allow everybody to collaborate really nicely. We'll go through like exactly how it all works and things later, but for now, between now and our next meeting, we should have those two things fully installed. So the WPI installation guide looks like this. So if you're on Windows, you can stay here. If you're on Mac, you can click over. The Windows installer is way easier too. That's another reason if you have the option. The Windows installer is only like that long and you're basically done. The Mac install takes quite a bit more work.
Mac is super
working.
finicky.
Yeah.
Whenever I tried to install stuff, it just did not work.
Yeah. So it is possible. People on our team have gotten it to work, so it is doable, but it is finicky. Windows is a lot easier.
If you do have to do it on Mac and you have problems, I did this a couple weeks ago and I did run into and fix some problems. So just DM me on Slack. I'll probably be able to help with some of it.
Yeah. So then all of this will get posted in the controls channel in Slack right after this is over. And then ask any questions you have throughout the process. If we need to like come on at 3 during our normal like hangout Zooms or whatever, and ask, and we can walk you through it directly if you want. However you want to get it done, but it all should be installed by our next one, so we're not spending time next Monday installing it all, and so we can get right into going over how it all works and actually programming with it.